We are here in Hollywood Studios for Jollywood Nights. It is the very first night of this special ticketed event, and I'm taking you with me to try all of the food. This is the ultimate foodie guide to Disney's Jollywood Nights. It is year number 3 of this event, and I figured we'd kick things off at one of the brand new offerings this year. For the first time ever, the Tune-In Lounge is open during Jollywood Nights, and they have a special menu of party-exclusive cocktails. Now, a couple of them sound interesting, but the one that really caught my eye is the Holiday Delight. The Holiday Delight has gin, falernum liqueur, Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, lime juice, pickle juice, a chili lime rim, and a pickle garnish. We are starting off with a little cocktail here, and this sounds really interesting to me. Somehow I've never had a drink with dill pickle flavored anything. I know this is kind of popular, and I really love pickles, so I don't know how this has never happened, but today is the day, and I just want to point out how tiny this is. I think this is maybe like 3 sips worth of drink. At least it's not like full-priced Disney drink prices. It was $11, so for the size, I think it is still a bit much, but I think I'm gonna get like 3 sips out of this one here. I was kind of surprised when it was placed on the table in front of me. I was like, whoa, that's a lot smaller than expected. But let's try out our Holiday Dill Light. Yeah, that's definitely dill pickle there. That is definitely dill pickle, and I like it. I think this goes without saying, but you have to really like pickles to enjoy this here. It tastes like pickle juice mixed with gin, and then a little bit of a florally aftertaste from the elderflower. You know, this drink here really has everything that I like. I'd say gin is one of my favorite liquors to mix in a cocktail. I'd also say that like elderflower liqueur is one of my favorite things to mix in a cocktail, and I really enjoy pickles, so I think this is a really good drink. It is definitely a little bit sweet. This is a pre-mixed batched cocktail, which I wish it wasn't. Everything is just sitting in a vat and they kind of just pour it all out. I understand they want to get people through there fast, but it is opening night. It just opened and there's really not much of a line, so I don't think they're going to have an issue with long lines, big crowds, and people waiting. So I wish they were making these fresh, or at least like shaking them fresh, having some things prepared beforehand, but you know, like shaking them fresh. I just like a fresh cocktail, and this is not that, but the taste is there. Would I get it again for the price? Price throws me off a bit because of how small it is, but it's tasty. As for the vibe inside of the Tune-In Lounge, I do wish there were like a couple more tables set up so you could sit with your drink and chill. They did have a couple of bar seats as well as a couple of tables, but just in general, there weren't enough places to where everyone can enjoy their cocktail in the Tune-In Lounge setting. I don't know, that's what I kind of expect from Jollywood Nights, you know, sitting inside with your drink and a nice vibe. They did have some tables set up outside, but I wish there were just like maybe a couple standing tables inside as well to enjoy that Tune-In Lounge kind of vibe. The next place I wanted to stop tonight is the Backlot Express because they have a brand new menu full of a ton of new food that sounds really good. On the menu, you could find a burger slider, a chicken slider, a holiday mac and cheese, some Brussels sprouts, and a bread pudding. I decided to pick up a little spread of what I thought sounded best. So we've got some mac and cheese, some Brussels, as well as the bread pudding. And since I know my way around a Disney mac and cheese, I want to start off by trying this. This here is the Hickory Holiday Mac. It's macaroni and cheese with burnt ends, crispy onions, and chili pepper sauce. This mac and cheese here looks really creamy, and there looks to be a good amount of the burnt ends on here. Now, they don't really look like burnt ends. They kind of more look like pot roast to me, but either way, it still looks very tasty. I'm really impressed by this. I originally thought, by the looks of it, it kind of looked similar to the regular mac and cheese that they serve at all of the quick service restaurants, but I think I might be wrong. This mac and cheese tastes a lot creamier and a little bit different. I really like the smoky flavor that the brisket and the chili pepper sauce give to this mac and cheese. It really kind of changes the flavor profile of it completely. My favorite part are those crunchy onions on top. I think it's like So much better. It's kind of like adding breadcrumbs on top of your mac and cheese, except they're actually super crispy and it gives a little bit of an onion flavor as well. So they're like so much better than breadcrumbs. And yeah, this mac and cheese is on point on its own. Like if you served me this mac and cheese just in a bowl, I'd be happy with it. So add all these other toppings on top and I think it's really good. Just look at how nice and creamy this bite here looks. This is like the perfect bite of mac and cheese right here. That's really good, but I still stand by the fact that this does not actually taste like burnt ends. I feel like burnt ends have a very specific flavor and these do not have them. It tastes to me more like pot roast, which Disney has been loving a pot roast lately, so I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd say I probably like pot roast more than burnt ends anyway, so I'm definitely not mad at it by any means. I like this a lot. I would definitely get this again. All right, next up we have these Sleigh Bell Brussels sprouts. These are served with a bourbon onion jam and crispy onions as well. These are one of the plant-based offerings on the Jollywood Nights menus, and I love a good Brussels sprout, but Brussels sprouts are something that they have to be cooked well. There's a very specific way you have to cook a Brussels sprout, and I'm not sure if a quick service restaurant in a Disney park can pull it off, but we shall see. I need them to be crispy. I need a crispy Brussels sprout. Otherwise, they're soggy and they're not good. We'll see. Are these crispy enough? These are actually surprising me with how good they are. I will say the Brussels sprouts themselves aren't that crispy, but what makes up for the crispiness that the Brussels sprouts are lacking are those crispy fried onions. They're killing it with the use of the fried onions here at Backlot Express because since the Brussels aren't super crispy, you get those crispy fried onions there, and that gives you the crispness that you need, and it tastes really good with them. Delicious. Our final Backlot Express food is the Holly Jolly bread pudding. This is a warm bread pudding swirled with chocolate hazelnut spread and topped with cherries, holiday sprinkles, and a chocolate gingerbread man. At first, I thought these on the top here were raisins, but I guess they're just dried cherries. We got a little swirl of Nutella on the top, and this is kind of tiny. It's in this tiny little tin here, but it's tiny, but it's heavy. This thing weighs at least a pound here. It's packed in there tight, it must be at least. It's all coming out at once. I gotta try and get a fork. I just need one bite, guys. Okay, there we go. What I like about this bread pudding here is that it's not too overly sweet. It's just the perfect amount of sweetness. It's very moist on the inside. I think it's really good. The one thing it's missing is like an extra swirl of something on the inside of this bread pudding here. They have that little drizzle of Nutella on top, and they have those dried cherries on top as well. But I wish instead of maybe the dried cherries, they used some type of like cherry compote on top, or added some Nutella on the inside of this bread pudding, because on the inside it's just like the bread pudding. We need more Nutella and more cherry flavor. Our next stop is going to be the ice cold hydraulics stand. Now, usually I'm not a fan of what they serve here, but for the party, I couldn't pass this food up. I decided to pick up two of the different treats. We've got a little cold brew here, as well as some mini churros. This is the mint chocolate cold brew with rum. It's a Joffrey's cold brew coffee with cacao, rum, chocolate syrup, and a mint cold foam. Now, if you didn't drink or you simply didn't want alcohol in your cold brew here, you could get it without for a cheaper price. But when I have mint flavored things, you guys know, I like a lot of chocolate with my mint. So I figured adding some extra chocolate rum into this cold brew can only make this better. And you guys also know, I haven't been a big fan of the Joffrey's cold brew lately. So I figured adding some extra chocolate rum in here could help this as well. We've got our cold foam on top. I was talking to the cast member up there and she hadn't tried this either. And I was like, I feel like this is gonna go one of two ways. This is either gonna be really good or really bad. And we were like, I don't know how mint and coffee is gonna go together, but it sounds really interesting. So I had to try it out. And I wanna give this a stir here to incorporate some of that foam. Actually, maybe I should try the foam here first. Oh my God, that tastes like mint ice cream. Okay, the foam's not gonna be the issue. The foam is good. The foam is good. It's gonna be, how does the foam mix with the coffee? How do those flavors go together? I'm spilling a little. Okay, I think we're well incorporated. You guys are gonna be surprised to hear this, but this is very good. This is the first Joffrey's cold brew I've had in the past month that I have enjoyed that I'm not going to say is bitter. And maybe that's because of the extra chocolate rum that I added in here. That could be it. Maybe it's like cutting through that, but it's chocolatey, it's minty, but not like overly minty or anything. I actually like this a lot. I like I was saying, it was either gonna go one of two ways. There was no in between with this one, and I like it a lot. Now we've got to dig into these Jolly Gingerbread Mini Churros. These are gingerbread churros with chocolate hazelnut sauce and holiday sprinkles. We've got about 7 mini churros on the plate here, and I could smell that gingerbread flavor, which is a good sign. Now during the day, they have savory churros at Ice Cold Hydraulics with like a chili aioli and like bacon, and they scare me. They scare me a lot. So I was excited to finally get to try like a good sounding mini churro from Ice Cold Hydraulics over there. Let's grab one. I don't know how fresh they were gonna be. They were just sitting in a warmer, but they look decent, and they feel a lot softer than the regular Disney World churros. I'm really surprised because as soon as I picked this plate of churros up, I smelled gingerbread flavor, but they aren't super strong on the gingerbread flavor when you actually bite into them. What I will say is they're nice and soft and they taste fresh, which is a way higher step above the regular Disney World churro that is usually hard and crunchy. Now they're nice and cinnamony, but they just don't have like that total gingerbread flavor. Maybe there's just not enough of the gingerbread sugar on there, but with that being said, they still taste okay. Like they're an okay churro. They're better than any other churro you're gonna find in this park. Well, I am taking this iced coffee to go because we have to make our way over to the market for our next treats. The market is where you can usually find the Jack Jack cookie right before you enter Toy Story Land, and for Jollywood Nights, they have some really interesting food, including a macaroon and a cool lemonade. So of course I picked up both. I want to try this Bing Bong candy lemonade first. It's a frozen strawberry lemonade slushie and butterfly pea flower tea topped with pink cotton candy and freeze-dried candy. Let me just say, this looks absolutely nothing like I expected. Looks nothing like the photo. And the video that you guys saw is when I just picked this up. So the cotton candy didn't even melt yet or anything. They just put such a small piece that it just was not what I expected or what the photo showed whatsoever. So I'm a little disappointed in this one. So this is just gonna be like a lemonade slushie, and there's only like 5 Skittles on here. So I thought this was gonna be like a fun frozen drink, but I think I'm gonna be wrong about that. I'm not even convinced that's frozen lemonade. It just tastes like watered down. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like watered down pink lemonade Powerade. Has anyone ever had the pink lemonade Powerade before? That's actually my favorite flavor of Powerade, except it just tastes like that, but watered down. Maybe it's the butterfly pea tea in the bottom that's like making it taste watered down. But either way, even this like frozen lemonade that they've got at the top doesn't even taste much like lemon. I don't know. This is very underwhelming, guys. I thought even if it didn't taste good, I was gonna be able to say it's fun, but nah. It doesn't deliver on the flavor or the presentation. You can meet Bing Bong at this event, though. I saw him over by, kind of on the side of Baseline by where Muppet Courtyard used to be, RIP. But his drink isn't doing it for me. Hopefully this other character-themed food is a little bit better. The macaroon. This is a toasted coconut cookie with green white chocolate topped with a sugar eye. Now this is actually really soft. It's kind of melting in my hands here. So I think this is gonna be good, and I love the theme. I love Monsters Inc. So. Now this is literally just shards of coconut, and I know a macaroon is coconut, but this is barely being bound together by anything. And correct me if I'm wrong, but macaroons are supposed to be like a little bit like cakey and have other stuff in it than just like shards of coconut. But it's literally just shredded coconut. I'm like still chewing on the coconut actually, and I could be wrong. It could be like this. I think the only like actual macaroon that I've had is over in Disneyland at the Jolly Holiday. They have a Matterhorn macaroon, and I think I like that one a little bit better. But talk about presentation. At least this one looks like the photo, and this one looks like the character, and this one is cute, unlike that drink. But $5 for one, I don't know about that. And for just like shredded coconut, I also don't know about that. All right, I had to go back up to the market to get this here little beverage. I met some friends that let me know that I had to try this drink. And I originally had it on my list, but when I went up there the first time, I didn't have enough hands to carry everything. So I decided not to get it. But since I heard it was so good, I decided to go back up and grab it. This is the caramel apple cider with moonshine. It has Werther's Original Caramel, apple cider, cinnamon, and Old Smoky apple pie moonshine, topped with Werther's Original Caramel popcorn. Just like a lot of the alcoholic drinks at this event, they also have a non-alcoholic version of this drink here. You can get it without the moonshine, but I had to try it with the moonshine. It's a little separated though, so I want to stir it with our popcorn, get everything incorporated. It is served warm, by the way, and it is so hot out tonight. The fireworks are going off. It is so hot out, so this is like not necessarily what I want, but if it tastes good, I will let you guys know for sure. Ooh. That's actually strong too. There's a lot of moonshine in this. You could taste the alcohol. It tastes like a warm cinnamon applesauce delight. I am definitely glad I went back up to try this because I like it a lot. I'd actually say it's probably the best drink that I have tried so far today. Even though it's hot, I enjoy it. So I can imagine on a cooler night at Jollywood, this is the drink you should come get. This would hit different if it's like a cool night, and there's gonna be plenty of cool nights here at Jollywood. Sipping on this, perfect. While watching one of the shows or something, come back here to the market, grab yourself this little cup of deliciousness, and then go watch the ice skating show in front of the Chinese theater. That is a total vibe, man. It's good. I'm glad I went back up to get it. So I forgot to get your names, but shout out to you guys for telling me to go get this. We have finally made our way onto Sunset Boulevard, and I want to get one of my most anticipated treats of the evening, coming from Hollywood Scoops. They have two different kinds of ice cream sundaes here, themed after the Muppets, and I think you guys are gonna love. They have a Kermit sundae as well as a Miss Piggy sundae, and I had to scoop up both. The Kermit Mint Whirl has green apple boba pearls and white chocolate cheesecake, topped with mint chocolate chip ice cream and green M&Ms. And then we have the Miss Piggy Strawberry Glam with strawberry boba pearls and strawberry cheesecake, topped with chocolate pearls, strawberry ice cream, and pink M&Ms. These are both served in souvenir cups that you could take home with you. Now, this strawberry one actually sounds like a good combo because it's all strawberry flavors. Kermit, on the other hand, I don't know how this one's gonna be. We got mint and green apple in the same cup. And cheesecake. That's a little bit of a weird combination. So let's try Kermit here first. I gotta try and get all the way down to the bottom to get every flavor. I can't get a boba pearl. There we go, I think I got one. Oh my God, what a combo. Here's what we got going on. The cheesecake is more of like a mousse. It's not like your typical cheesecake. It's like a mousse that they probably piped in there. And then you got mint ice cream. The green apple, yeah, it's throwing me off. The green apple is not great, but you could easily miss that by just not going all the way to the bottom, and then you pretty much just got a mint ice cream sundae. I mean, you Kermit lovers, I know there's a lot of you. You're gonna love this, and I love the theme of it. It's on point. The Muppets are very present here at Jollywood Nights, so I like the theme of it, and it's very cute. But the green apple's a lot. Also, what are you supposed to do with this cup? Like, it's a souvenir cup, but it's very oddly shaped. What would you do with this? Now, Miss Piggy is going to be a little bit of a better combo here because we are pretty much all strawberry. Strawberry cheesecake is already a great combo in itself. And we've got the strawberry boba pearls on the bottom. That was a lot easier to get up than the other one. As someone who is not ride or die for either Kermit or Miss Piggy, we're just talking flavor, I think Miss Piggy wins this battle here because it's just straight up strawberry. And the cheesecake part of this one just tastes like yogurt to me. It's very thin, and I know it's more of like a cheesecake mousse, but it really just tastes like yogurt. But easily the strawberry flavors are all cohesive, so it just tastes a lot better. I think this would be good with a little bit of chocolate, so it's like a chocolate covered strawberry situation. Now, are either of these spectacular? No. Do I think you have to get either of these if you come here? No. But if you're a Muppets fan, I could see you're probably definitely going to want to grab one or both of these little sundaes here. I was excited to try them. Going even deeper into Sunset Boulevard, right next to Rock and Roller Coaster, there's a stand called KRNR, the Rock Station. And for Jollywood Nights, they have a churro sundae. These are churros topped with vanilla soft serve, spiced apples, and spiced chocolate sauce. These here are really interesting because they're almost like churro fries. Do you see how like thin they are? I've never seen Disney carry churros like this anywhere, so it's really interesting. I'm curious to see how they're going to be. We've got a little bit of an apple compote on top, some sliced apples in there, some chocolate, and some vanilla soft serve. Gotta dunk my little churro fry in a little bit of everything. I'm definitely getting that spiced chocolate coming through. Like, it's not just a typical chocolate sauce that they have on here, and those apples are really good. I could definitely use more apples. There's not that much. And there's a little bit of an inconsistency with the churros. The first one I ate was really good and soft. And then the second churro I ate was like a crunchy, hard Disney World churro. And wow, that chocolate sauce is very spice forward. At first I thought it was just like cinnamon, but now maybe there's a little, I'm thinking there's maybe like a little bit of paprika or something in there because it's like spicy actually a little bit. But it kind of pairs well with the vanilla ice cream and stuff. I don't think this is like anything to write home about or anything that I would like necessarily get again. I'd say it's very average on the same level as those gingerbread churros. I came back over here by Rock and Roller Coaster to hit up Pretzel Palooza because they have a guava and cream cheese quesito. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. But this is cream cheese and guava baked in a flaky puff pastry. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not this. It looks like a mass-produced pastry, like one that just came in frozen. It doesn't look fresh. It doesn't feel fresh. I don't know. I expected a little bit more from this, guys, but let's try it out. This is super disappointing. The dough is not flaky. It's not buttery. It's not even better than like a hotel continental breakfast croissant. And it's just stuffed with like this cream cheese and not even that flavorful guava jam. And it's very small. And this singular pastry was almost $5. And I feel like generally the prices of the snacks here at Jollywood are very reasonable. This is not reasonable here. Almost $5 for this little pastry that tastes and feels like it was frozen. This one here is really disappointing. We are back on Sunset Boulevard for a stop at Fairfax Fare. Now, on the menu is the same thing they pretty much always have. They always have these popovers. They have a turkey popover as well as a sides popover. They've been on the menu for the past 3 years, and they're always fairly decent. I really like the turkey popover. But instead of getting them, since I've already tried them before, I'm going to get the new addition to the menu, the new dessert, the raspberry lemon square. This has lemon filling topped with raspberry powdered sugar and glazed raspberries. When I saw this on the menu, I was really excited. You guys know I love a lemon dessert, and this is a lot bigger than I expected. I thought it was going to be like a little tiny square, but no, this is like a full-size piece of cake. I cut into it. There's like a little, it feels like almost like a shortbread cookie on the bottom, and then we've got our lemon filling. It looks like a lemon meringue, and then we've got our raspberry powder up on the top. Let's see how this is. Shortbread, good. Lemon, good. That raspberry powder is throwing me off a bit. It's like a little off-putting just having like this flavored powder. You know what it reminds me of? Like Fun Dip. Like that blue raspberry Fun Dip that I used to eat as a child. I used to love Fun Dip, but I don't know if I want it on my lemon pastry. We are now off to get one of my favorite foods that they have at this event every year, the birria taco from ABC Commissary. This has shredded beef and Monterey Jack served with a beef consomme. We are looking very thin this year, paper thin. I must admit, there really is not much beef in here. It is very hot though. Okay, actually, I'm opening it up, and there is actually a good amount of beef. It might just, like, look thin, but there's a decent amount of beef in here. We'll go for a dunk in the consomme. This consomme is, like, there's barely any. I was trying to dunk it in, and I was like, wow, this is, like, the funniest consomme dunk ever. But we do have some consomme here for a dunk. Like I said, this is one of my favorite things to get at this event every year. I think I've gotten it all 3 years that I've come to Jollywood, and there have been 3 years of Jollywood Nights, so I've gotten it all 3 years. Okay, I came here at the end of the night, so I could definitely tell this has been sitting under a warmer. The cheese isn't like super melty, it's just there. And the beef as well, you could tell the outside is just like a little bit crusty, but the taco shell is nice and crunchy. And there is a good amount of filling in here, although it just like looks really thin. It's nice and flavorful. It is dry, but when you dunk it in the consomme, oh my gosh. When you dunk it in the consomme, it gives it enough, it helps with the dryness enough. I think this is good, and it's not gonna be better than like your local Mexican restaurant, or it's not gonna be better than the birria tacos in Disney California Adventure, but for us here in Orlando at Walt Disney World, that do not have the joy of having Cucina Cucamonga birria tacos, this is what we're left with, and I'm not necessarily mad at it. So I would say this is one of the better savory bites that you could get here at Jollywood Nights, and I will continue to get it probably every year. They have a couple of other like Mexican dishes here at ABC Commissary that they serve, but this is hands down my favorite. I think the yuca fries are usually pretty good as well, but birria is a bit better. We have time for one final stop here at Jollywood Nights, and it wouldn't be an evening at Jollywood Nights without grabbing a Santa Gertie cookie, and a Santa Gertie cookie with Kevin.
Oh, we're here at the grand finale.
The grand finale. Funny
Will it
story.
taste like sawdust? We shall see.
The first time we ever met was Jollywood Nights year 1, and Kevin purchased me this cookie because the line was, how long did you wait for it?
It was like, I don't know, 40 minutes.
For a sugar cookie.
For a sugar cookie.
For a sugar cookie. So this year we are also...
They added it, a little, the snow or the Gertie
Is the snow new?
Happening on the back. That's new.
We are once again experiencing a Santa Gertie cookie together. So magical. Would you like the neck or anything? Or the tail?
This is all you.
You sure?
I've had my fulfillment of sawdust for tonight.
Okay. I will have the tail. Tastes like a sugar cookie, like a shortbread butter cookie. Doesn't taste like anything special, but I feel like if you're coming to Jollywood Nights, it's basic, but You gotta get a little Gertie here. With that Gertie cookie, we have completed another year of Jollywood Nights. I gotta say, the food this year wasn't super impressive. Some of the things that we tried were good, were okay, but in general, nothing really blew me away. In terms of the best things I ate and drank tonight, I'd put the mac and cheese on that list. I thought the mac was really creamy, the meat on top was nice and flavorful. I'd also say that caramel apple cider with moonshine was really good. That'll really hit the spot on a cool night. It was nice and warm and had great caramel apple flavor. And then of course, the classic birria taco. I love getting that every single year. As for the worst things I ate this evening, I'd say that guava and cheese quesito would be on that list. It really just tasted like a very average grocery store pastry. I also was not really a fan of the Bing Bong lemonade. It didn't have much flavor and the presentation was not what I was expecting. And from that same booth, the market, I'd put the macaroon on that list. It was just coconut flakes kind of placed together. I probably would not get that again, although it was cute. With all of that being said, I do feel like a lot of the food was a bit of a letdown this year at the event, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I feel like the food at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party was actually better than the food at Jollywood Nights tonight, which is usually not the case. And I don't really know what was going on tonight, but it's not like anything was like super bad, but I feel like there's just a difference in standard between the food at Disneyland and the food here at Disney World, especially in the holiday food at Disneyland and the holiday food at Disney World. A lot of the holiday food at Disneyland is so good that I would like consider purchasing a ticket to the park just to get. Not only does it look so good, I know it's good because I've tasted some of it. That is how delicious it is. And I just don't think there's anything at this event or any of the holiday events here at Disney World that is like worth purchasing a ticket for. Does that make sense? I don't know, just nothing like really noteworthy or nothing to write home about, nothing that I'm going to be raving about or would be like, wow, you guys need to come get this if you're coming here. There's stuff that I'd say, yeah, if you're coming, probably get this, but nothing that is like, wow, you have to come to this event and you have to try this food. But anyway, that is the end of my Jollywood Nights rant. Drop me a comment down below letting me know if you're gonna be coming to the event this year. With all of that being said, the event is so much better than it was on year one, so I'm at least very thankful for that. I have so much more Disney Christmas content coming your way, so make sure you guys hit subscribe to catch it all. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.